From kings relying on horses for messages that took weeks to postal systems speeding things up, today, you can send a message across the world in less than a second. But how does that work? How does a text you type magically appear on your friend's screen who is thousands of kilometers away in an instant? The epic journey of a message across the world. So, you're sitting in your room, texting your friend on the other side of the world. You hit send, and boom, the message arrives in a fraction of a second. It feels instant, like magic, but behind the scenes, your message is on a crazy, high-speed adventure through oceans and continents using cables, satellites, and data centers, going faster than the blink of an eye. Let's break it down. The moment you hit send, your message, whether it's a text, email, or meme, turns into tiny packets of data, basically, digital puzzle pieces. These pieces need to find their way to your friend's phone or computer, but they don't just travel in a straight line on air. Instead, they zip through an invisible highway of networks with multiple stop points, just like a package ordered from China and delivered to the Europe, passing through boats, trucks, and warehouses. Step 1. The Wi-Fi or cell tower launch. If you're on Wi-Fi, your message first travels through your home router. If you're on mobile data, it shoots straight to the nearest cell tower. At this stage, your message is like a package being picked up by the first delivery truck. But instead of roads, it's traveling as radio waves. These waves are traveling at almost the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. The router translates the signal into electrical light signals and sends it through fiber optic or copper cables to your internet service provider. Step 2. Enter the fiber optic superhighway. Once your message reaches your internet provider, it's time for the real journey. Your data is converted into light pulses and sent through fiber optic cables, thin glass wires buried underground and even under the ocean. Think of fiber optics like a super-fast subway system for data, traveling thousands of miles per second with almost no delay. Step 3. Crossing oceans, the secret underwater cables. 99% of international data traffic travels through deep-sea cables. These cables stretch hundreds of thousands of miles across the ocean floor, connecting entire continents. Your message might pass through multiple underwater cables like from New York to London via the Atlantic Ocean cables, from Japan to Australia through the Pacific Ocean cables. These cables are thinner than a garden hose, but carry trillions of messages every second. Step 4. Data centers, the internet's control towers. At different points in the journey, your message passes through huge data centers, massive buildings packed with servers that help direct and process internet traffic. Think of them like traffic control towers for the internet, making sure your message finds the quickest path to its destination. Your message might bounce between multiple data centers before getting close to your friend's location, including the company's servers, like WhatsApp's, Meta's, or Apple's data centers. Depending on the app you used, this is where encryption, processing, and storage happen. Step 5. The final stretch, Wi-Fi or cell tower at the destination. After crossing oceans, bouncing through cables, and getting sorted in data centers, your message reaches your friend's internet provider. From there, it follows the same steps in reverse. It travels through fiber optic cables to a cell tower or Wi-Fi router. It converts back into radio waves and beams to your friend's phone. Their phone reassembles the data packets back into the original message. And just like that, ding! Your friend gets your text in less than a second. Even if you text a friend who is just 1 foot away, the message doesn't go directly from your phone to his. Instead, it takes the same long journey, traveling across the world to reach him, and still takes less than 1 second. Impressive. What about satellites? Most messages don't use satellites, but in remote areas like isolated islands, satellites do help send data. The signal has to travel 22,000 miles up to a satellite, bounce back down to Earth to reach the receiver. Since satellites are so far away, this can actually be slower than fiber optic cables. The future of communication. How will messaging look in the future? 1. Mind-to-mind messaging. Companies like Neuralink, Elon Musk's BrainChip startup, are working on brain-computer interfaces that could let us send messages directly from our thoughts to someone else's brain. No more screens, no more typing, just pure mental communication. 2. Hologram messaging. Instead of boring texts or video calls, what if you could send a 3D hologram of yourself to pop up in your friend's room? Companies like Meta, Apple, and Microsoft are developing holographic technology combined with augmented reality, AR. In the future, you might send a life-sized realistic 3D message that appears right in front of the recipient. Instead of a text, your friend might get a mini hologram of you saying, "Hey, let's grab pizza." Next time you hit send, just remember, your message travels through radio waves, fiber optic cables, deep-sea networks, and data centers. It might bounce through multiple continents, all of this in a fraction of a second. The whole journey is faster than blinking your eyes. Insane, right? So, the next time someone takes a long time to reply, maybe the message is taking a break somewhere, eating pizza in Italy, or shopping in Dubai. What do you think the future of communication will look like? Drop your wildest predictions in the comments. By the way, your comment will take the same journey to get to me. And hey, if you learned something cool today, smash that like button and subscribe to see more.